Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Shani, Scott, and Melz on the M.I.C. We are the queen and king of some media on spring break. Well, it's spring break for me and my kids. What about you, Melz?
Is spring break over there already?
Yeah, they on spring break.
I didn't even know. I don't think it's spring break yet. I don't think it's spring break yet over here. I don't know yet. But then again, I don't know. I'm new to this area. I don't know what's going on with Tyler ISD and these Texas schools. So I don't know. But I think mines are still on spring break in Killeen Temple.
They're still on spring break, or they just went on?
They haven't started yet. I don't know. I'm just out here. Good morning, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Good morning. Good morning.
I'm grown and I don't get a spring break. Grown folk don't get spring break.
Yeah, because we here. We are definitely here today.
Grown folk don't get a spring break, all right? So ain't no point even for me even looking forward to it every year. But you're inside the Media Room 360 app, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and all that other good stuff. The king and queen of some media, back from the weekend. A wild weekend with a lot of stuff going on, man. Lots of headlines, the Grammys, Kirk Franklin. Is just a whole bunch of stuff going on, man. So what we kick it off with today? I guess
let's start with the Grammys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
So I only saw one. I didn't realize the Grammys was on. Okay. So you know how I found out the Grammys was on?
How's that?
TikTok.
Of course. Cause you was, I don't know what you was on last night. You was hitting me with a dozen of them joints last night. I was like, what is this? Now it's time for her to go to bed. When it start hitting midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, I start getting TikTok sent to me. It's time for somebody to go to bed.
Yeah, so that's how I found out, because I was scrolling through TikTok and a TikTok popped up of Cardi B, of Trevor Noah saying, "Oh my God, did you see Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion?" Good morning, Leslie. And so
morning, Leslie.
I went to YouTube and checked it out to see Cardi's performance. Her if it's up, then it's up, then it's up, and it's stuck. That in WAP. They did that in WAP. Megan came out. The ladies look at first, I was looking at Cardi trying to figure, I just hate that Cardi keep touching her body. I'm talking about with the plastic surgery.
Who's this now? Cardi
B, yeah.
I don't know,
she's done some lipo, and it's like, girl, stop doing that. You ain't nothing wrong with you. Good morning, Sky.
Good morning, Sky. But Texas represented well yesterday. Texas represented last night well.
Miss Beyonce. Yes, and she made history again. She's the most winning woman.
She's won the most Grammys of a female solo act ever.
Yeah.
It was funny because all week long everybody kept asking, why is Beyonce didn't confirm whether or not she was showing up to the Grammy. So everybody was all scared and nervous. But I'm quite sure them Grammy people was like, man, make sure Beyonce get all these trophies so she could come on out here tonight.
Good morning, Yusuf.
Good morning, Yusuf. Grand rising to you, brother. That's
grand rising. I like that, Yusuf. I'm gonna start saying that instead of good morning to everybody. I'm gonna say grand rising.
Okay.
That's what's up. You don't like that? That's what's up. Grand rising.
That's what it is.
I like that. I like that. I'm gonna start texting you in the morning. Grand rising, Melz.
All right, Queen of Zamunda looking at.
That's right. That's right, Yusuf. Yes, he said all the black women are queens.
Oh boy. Nah, I was just laughing because I think them people at the Grammys were so scared that Beyonce wasn't gonna show up that they decided to give her all the damn trophies. Just give her Blue Ivy got a damn trophy. The whole family got a trophy.
Oh yeah. I saw that too. I saw that Miss Blue got a little thing. So I was like, oh, okay, so that's what we doing now. All right.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure, like I said, Beyonce. But again, leading up in the week, Beyonce, that was actual stories and reports being written about Beyonce. Why Beyonce don't want to show up to the Grammys? She's the most decorated artist. Why she don't want to show up to the Grammys? Well, she showed up. She showed up.
She showed up.
She showed up, and y'all got all y'all ratings. Y'all was all happy and stuff. And I keep telling folks the reason why I pay attention to the Grammys is because I understand how Grammy voting works and who's going to win every year. And I tell everybody this. That's why I don't get upset about the Grammys and who win. Like, for example, Nas won Best Hip Hop Album. Can't nobody tell me can't name a song off that Nas album. can't nobody, no person that loves hip hop that I know can name a song off that Nas album. It was an industry gift from the industry for Nas putting up with they BS for 15 Grammy sessions. So
why is the Weeknd protesting the Grammys? Sky, check your email.
Well, it's because he said he had to. Well, for starters, the Weeknd had one of the biggest selling albums of the year last year, and
he didn't get nominated,
and he didn't get no nomination.
So wow.
So he was mad about that. He was mad that despite the fact that he had one of the top albums of the year, he didn't even get a single nomination. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, Jackie. Listen, girl, we got to talk. I got some tea, girl. I got to give you. So after this, we got to talk. Okay.
So that's why the Weeknd claim he ain't. But I've been telling folks this for years. The Grammys are they have all these music categories and they're voted on by people who don't necessarily listen to that type of music. So you got people that's in opera music voting on hip hop, the best hip hop album, and vice versa. You got rappers voting on rock stuff and all this other stuff. And in 80% of the cases, they're going to pick the artist that they are most familiar with. They don't mind.
Yeah, it's the popularity, the name that they've heard. It's not that they've sat down and
listen to the music.
Listen to me. Say, good morning, Diva. I'm sorry, Grand Rising, Diva.
There you go.
Grand Rising. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I keep telling them that's why Bruno Mars won so many the first time. I kept telling folks, I think it was that when Bruno Mars had I think he won like 6-7 Grammys like a couple of years ago. And I said,
that was deserving.
But I told everybody before it started, everybody was like, man, Bruno Mars ain't gonna win on. I said Bruno Mars will win every Grammy they present to him that night. And he did. And everybody was like, man, how you call that? Because when it comes down to it, when you put all these people in a room, they're going to pick the name that they're most familiar with. That's why Meg had an incredible year. That's not front here. Meg Thee Stallion had an incredible year.
She did.
So she's getting all the awards that she deserves. Let's be honest here. Beyonce album wasn't all that. That Lion King album. I don't hear y'all.
I liked it.
I don't hear y'all in the street pumping that.
Well, we play there are some songs from it that we play. I know my daughters they like Brown Skin. I mean, that's their song right there. Brown Skin Girl. They gonna play that and sing it and all of that, work out to it, all that good stuff. And then it's some other song, but I liked the visual album that she put out. I did like it.
The visual album was amazing. That's what she won the Grammy for. That's what Blue and won an Ivy for. But at the same time, I keep telling everybody that's don't get upset about the Grammys. This is why I stopped paying attention to the Grammys, because unless you're going to have it specialized to where everybody who actually listens to the music in those categories are voting in these categories, then I get an understanding. Because like I said, ain't nobody listen to that Nas album. Nobody. I know for a fact ain't nobody listen to that Nas album, but yet Nas got a Grammy. And I said it before the Grammy started. They're giving Nas this. Nas is going to win a Grammy. The rest of the albums in the hip hop category were amazing albums. The J Electronica album, the Mad Lib, all those albums were amazingly. I heard all those albums. All of them were quality albums worthy of Grammy consideration. But I already knew who was going to win. It was going to be Nas. Because that was the brand name they all knew and understood and recognized was Nas. And Nas won a Grammy. So, but congratulations. I'm not hating at all. I'm just keeping it 100. That's just the honest assessment of how the Grammys work. So, it is what it is. But big shout out to Silk Sonic last night. They did the damn thing. I seen their performance last night.
Is that the name of this group? Yeah, Bruno and Anderson .Paak. Okay, Silk Sonic. Okay,
Silk Sonic. They did a girl. Look, go watch the performance. It was phenomenal. It was a great performance. It was great. Great harmonies, great harmonizer. Anderson .Paak can really effing sing. I knew he could sing, but last night it proved to me that boy can blow. Him and Bruno was harmonizing. They did the song Lead the Door Open, which is quickly becoming the song of 2021, and it ain't even been out 2 weeks yet. So, but it was phenomenal. It was, I was good on watching the Grammys, man. That was good.
Well, speaking of Grammys, okay. You know, Kirk Franklin has won some Grammys. He's won a few Grammys, and he made news this weekend too over an argument that he had with his oldest son. I think his name is Kerrion. Kerrion. I hope I'm saying it right. Kerrion Franklin. And you know, now you and I talked about this. He was like, he's 33 years old, and yes, he is about to turn 33 years old.
Grown ass man.
I'm sorry, I done missed all these little things. I'm sorry. I guess Jamie didn't see me. Oh, good morning, Richard. How you doing? Let me get through everybody's comments. So, yeah. Yeah, so Kirk's son and him had this argument, and we don't have all the details of the argument, but some things are starting to come out if you watch Kerrion's Instagram page. But what got everybody going is that Kirk Franklin cussed his son out, told him that he was going to put his foot up his ass, told him that he better not ever disrespect him. He'll break his neck. Let me get the right thing, so I'm saying the right things.
He put a foot up his ass. That's what he said for sure. I know that's guaranteed. I'll put a foot up your ass.
Yeah, he said, I'll put my foot in your ass. Kerrion said to him, I dare you to. Then then Kirk said, I break your neck. In word. Okay. And it went on and on from there. So Kerrion is upset because, and I kind of figured that this, because you know, and this is what I said, is that it's some other issues going on. And it's just one though, you know, dad gave me $300 and I to give it back to him, and they had an argument. This been going on for a while, and this young man is hurt about some things from his childhood. He can't get his father to have a conversation with him, so that's why it keeps going there. Because you know, my question was, is this his son with his wife Tammy? Girl. And I don't think so. I don't think so.
Ain't none of that you talking about. Ain't got nothing to do with no childhoods or no nothing like that.
Yes, it does.
No, it don't. Ain't got nothing to do with no childhood, because if you a grown ass man. When do we start saying as adults, I don't have to keep going back to this toxic nonsense? When do you as an adult say I don't have to go back to this toxic nonsense and keep
once you get it taken care of? It sounds like they need to go to therapy together and work it out. That's what I'm saying. So that's why his son, because see, you keep calling him a grown man. Okay, in some areas he might be a grown man, but when it comes to the relationship that he has with his father, he's still the little boy where his daddy left off at. So that has to be repaired between the two of them.
But if you calling me and you trying to set me up and put me on the social medias and all this other stuff, I don't want to have no therapy with you. I don't have no session with you. You're a grown ass man making a whole ass decision to try to bring me down. This ain't got nothing to do because you hurt as a child. No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Stop making excuses for these.
I'm not making excuses for him.
Don't know how to process their feelings better.
And he doesn't. But why he don't know how to process it, Jay? Why he don't know how to do it?
You don't have to deal with your dad. You don't have to keep going to your dad. My question is, what did you say to make this man go out of character like this? What did you do?
Let's flip it. Because again, like I said, my first question was, is this Tammy's son? It don't sound like this is the son that he has with his first wife. So it's some stuff that's done happened. Kurt said in his little apology or whatever, this been going on for a while. So he probably upset, whatever that situation was, and this happens a lot. People will have a baby by somebody or with somebody and resent the child because of the person they had the child with. the child might pick up some of those traits, which will happen. And so they treat that child differently. At the end of the day, I ain't tripping on them, cussing them out, because my 10 and 12-year-old done got cussed out. Okay? But what I'm talking about is, as the father, I don't care if he 55 and Kurt is 75. As the father, this is still your child. So as the father, Kurt needs to go on and say, you know what? Let's go sit down with somebody and take this out. And Kurt got to let go of whatever that is and actually listen. It might be tough. It might be tough to hear, because we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear it. But shit, the truth hurts. Just deal with it.
Let me tell you something. Melz has dealt with this before, because when my mother died, I sat there with my dad. I sat my father down with a bottle of liquor, and we sat down and we talked all night long. And I explained to my father about how his treatment of me growing up wasn't all the way there. He wasn't all the way right as being a father. And I sat down and I talked to, and me and my father hashed out these differences and explained to each other. At the end of the day, no matter what, you as a grown man, he's 33 years old. You have two choices in life. You can either try to repair this relationship, or you can try to move on with your life and stop being so toxic and keep dragging yourself into this situation. You have two choices. If you continue, but what the choice that I'm seeing, and like Leslie says they were in therapy in that part of the call. They were actually in a therapy session. So if this is the case, if they were in a therapy session, then that tells me there is work that's being done on somebody's behalf to try to repair this relationship. But at the same time, Kirk's assessment of calling him a bitch ass was accurate, because you won't sit here and put this man on blast and try to destroy his livelihood, a livelihood that your punk ass is taking advantage of by going to therapy.
I mean, but still, no, I don't. I called the same thing on Kurt, because the boy is saying they don't want him posting any childhood photos. He can't post any pictures of him with the family. So something is wrong. Why can't your child post pictures of you and him together as a child? I'm sorry. I don't. No, this is his father. This is his father. No, this is his father. I don't give a damn. Anybody that don't care about their kids and won't take the time to listen to what their children say. I understand what you went through with your daddy. I went through some shit with my daddy and his whole family. But you know what? What this little boy going through, didn't nobody tell me I can't.
Stop calling him a little boy.
I know he a grown man. He is a grown man by number. But when it comes to that relationship that he has with his father, he is still the little boy where his daddy left off. He has not grown from that. And that is what has to be repaired. Period. Point blank. You might not like it.
He is
the
not
people
a boy.
over here might not like it.
That's the
no,
problem right
he
there.
is.
Y'all keep calling this man a boy, a child.
If he was a man, if he had moved on from that relationship and there was no issue there is something that is crazy to say that this boy can't deal with this situation with his daddy. They need to.
They're trying to deal with it.
No, they're not trying to deal with it.
They just deal with it. They say it again. They say this is a call that was happening with a therapist on the phone.
No, this is what I'm saying. I mean, shit, I can go to the store, but if I don't go in there and buy nothing, that don't mean that I bought groceries. Okay, so they own the surface stuff. Now they got to break all that down and actually get to the work. And sometimes people don't know how to do that. They think just calling saying, "Hey, Jay, you hurt my feelings when you stepped on my foot." Okay, the problem really ain't that you stepped on my foot. It's something else. But if I don't know how to say that to you, then we're going to forever be going back and forth. I'm going to keep the you stepped on my foot 2 days ago. When really I'm mad you ate all the damn chicken. Okay? So they got to get past that. And Kurt, and I don't care about Kirk Franklin being no gospel singing all this. I like his music and stuff, but he jacked up too. It's some stuff that he has to deal with. And if talking to this little boy angers you that much
Oh,
to where you can't do it, I'm talking about
yes,
and that's what I'm gonna say.
I'm not respecting that point of view about calling this grown ass 33-year-old man a child, a boy.
He is. He's the boy.
That's how he's
boy.
stop doing childish shit then, like posting videos and stuff on social media. Stop running to social media for sympathy. Childish. No, I'm not. No, I don't respect that. I don't respect no man who grew up and you still hanging on and clenching on the stuff that you had on as a kid. When do you grow up? When do you say I'm tired of being and holding on to toxic stuff from when I was a child? When do you grow up and say I want to live a better life and move on from toxic nonsense? When his
daddy started being the father?
When does the responsibility come on a 33-year-old? Why are you still playing and crying about things when you were 16, 17 years old? You have got to move on. You have got
because it ain't been resolved. It ain't been resolved.
When they move on, some things don't need to be resolved.
This is his father. This ain't Joe Blow. This ain't his homeboy.
Don't need to be resolved. How many people have you cut off in your life that you ain't got no resolution with?
I ain't cut my daddy off.
But still, that's your
I didn't cut my daddy off. And that's my point. But not, it wasn't always like that.
But
that is my point.
Healed your relationship,
yes.
Right? Okay.
We healed it, but there was a joint effort.
Okay,
it didn't happen the first time we had a conversation. It didn't happen. Me and my dad went to therapy. It took some years. Okay. But even with everything that was going on between me and my dad, deep down there was still that urge to want to be loved by my dad a certain way.
Okay.
That doesn't go away.
And I understand that. But you ain't never in your life decided to put this say, well, he ain't loving me right, so I'm gonna put him on blast and do something to garner sympathy from everybody else outside of my circle. You never done that.
I don't think he did it to garner sympathy. I think the boy probably did it to just put his daddy on blast to show everybody he ain't the person that you think he is.
Again, let me say.
And again, my daddy ain't no big old superstar. So there were other conversations had where some stuff came out to certain people. So, it's just the levels. My daddy ain't Kirk Franklin. He a chemical engineer. So,
but like I said, at the same time, when is the responsibility on him being a grown man? Because like I said, y'all keep calling him a boy, and that's where you lose me at.
Well, you know what? And as a grown woman, I did have to do it, but I also had to accept there was a point as an adult where my dad came to me and said, you know what? I'm sorry for X, Y, and Z. It didn't happen in the therapy session. It happened just, one day he called me, came to my house, sat down and talked to me. And even after he sat down and talked to me, I still felt a certain way. And then a couple years later, I was like, well, you know what? I'm about to have kids. These is grandkids. Let's just go on and move forward. But there was an effort on his part.
On his part.
But that didn't happen until I was a grown ass adult.
My thing is this. Everything doesn't need closure. Like, we live in a society that everybody believes you need some sort of closure on something, or you need some sort of resolution to everything. Some things don't need a resolution. Some things don't need closure. Some things, sometimes it is in your best interest and your best health to just walk away from that situation and just not deal with it anymore and go back to living your best life. But we live in a society now that thinks everybody needs a resolution. We have got to figure out how we can solve these problems. No, some problems are just going to be there and you don't have to. And I would strongly recommend that you don't bother with it. I would strongly recommend that you move on with your life. If you feel like your father ain't treating you right, I don't want to hear about what happened when you were 15, 16 years old. When are you going to make a decision for yourself to start living your best life and start doing what's right for you and your family and taking care of what's you and yours? But no, you want to still keep going back and forth with your daddy about what happened because your daddy didn't take you to Disney World when he was 8 years old. I don't want to hear that.
I'm pretty sure it is bigger than my daddy didn't take me to Disney World for him.
I mean, I'm just saying.
But that's what he's. But you saying that, but it seems like that's what he's trying to do because apparently that is something that is inside him that's eating him that he needs. We talking about a son and his father. We're not talking about a man and some woman that he done married or a man and his homeboy. You know, this is a special relationship. This is a very special. So I can't be mad at the young man for wanting to get that closure, to get his dad to listen to him, to hear how he feels. Not just listen to him, but understand. Like, okay, because Kurt done put at least 2 albums out detailing all the stuff that he done went through as a child and explaining to us, well, I did this because of this. Kirk was grown. He was grown, but everybody bought them albums. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Okay, he telling his story, but why we need to know all that? Now you supposed to be telling us about melodies from heaven and how to stomp.
Hold on.
Your whole album is about this.
The whole point of going into Christianity and any religion is to tell your story of how you've been redeemed and how you changed your world around and how you was able to find a light in the world.
Well, his son letting us know apparently he ain't been redeemed. And delivered, because there's still some darkness and ghosts there. Apparently that's what that is.
But if them kids got out of line, if them kids get out of line,
if my kids get out of line, it's going down. However, I am with my children. It's gonna be some black and blue. But me and my kids, I have a relationship with my children. I talk to my children, even though some stuff done happened here with some situations. Not to go too deep, I don't treat my children differently. You know, my girls know I will break your neck behind them. My kids already know. Yeah. My kids already know. So when I get on them and tell, like you just heard me go off on them and say, look, if y'all ain't got this room right, ain't no party. Ain't no party.
Yeah. And you did it without cussing. I'm proud of you too. Well,
it's early in the morning, so ain't nobody. They ain't rolling their eyes at me and sucking their teeth at me.
But that's what I'm saying.
I ain't had to tell nobody. Listen, I would knock all your teeth down your throat. You won't need no braces.
Let's get down to the crust of this. Let's get down to the funky of this. Let's get down to the funk of this. That's what I'm talking about. Is this part about these kids get disrespectful. You won't talk to me, and then you won't talk to me like a grown ass man. You go get talked to like a grown ass man when because I listened to the audio when he said, "I dare you." All cards on the table, then, Chief. We can forget about the Disney World. We can throw therapy out there. We can do all this. No, my foot is coming for your ass at that point. Let's keep it 100 here. Let's break this down. All right. I'm hoping, and I truly hope that they are going to therapy. From the reports I'm reading, they're going to therapy. They're trying to resolve these issues. These things come up in therapy where you will be cussing each other out. And if it's a good therapy session anyway, these things will come up.
They need Iyanla come fix their life. Yeah. Where you at? That's a show.
That's a show right
Everybody can get paid. Then the son can get the money he want. Kirk can get some more money. He probably about to drop an album anyway while this coming out. But anyway.
And if you're talking about, if this was what it was, what Leslie is claiming, sources say that it was asking about money. If this was about money, then damn it, Kirk had every right to cuss his ass out. Every right. Because this is a generation of entitled ass kids who believe that they think everything, I'm quite sure Kirk did what he was supposed to do to make sure this young man was set up for life and make sure that he was taken care of and did what he was supposed to do as far as
if he was set up for life, he wouldn't be asking for money.
So, some people people blow through their opportunities. That's what most of these kids do. They blow through their opportunities. They get paid a golden spoon, and then when daddy and the grown ass adult have enough and say, you know what, I'm done. I ain't doing this no more. That's when they won't start screaming, oh, my daddy was abusive. My daddy did this. My daddy did that. That's what always. But
you're a dad. You're a dad that takes care of your responsibilities.
Exactly.
You ain't ran from none of yours. You ain't ran from none of yours.
None.
You ain't ran from none of yours. You ain't telling your kids. You ain't telling the oldest one. Now you can't put them pictures on. Now don't nobody need to see that. Like stuff like that. When something like that is said.
But what's the big deal about that? What's the social media
because he has a whole. Now I told this man I got a live show and gave him the times that I am on the air. And he's calling me right now.
Come on now. Pay that no mind.
But if I'm your first child, let's do okay. You're my child. You my first child. I had you with Mickey Mouse. Okay. And then Popeye come along. And I married Popeye and I got 2-3 kids by Popeye. Okay, but you know, when it's time for us to take the family picture, it's just me, Popeye, and my kids I had with Popeye. You don't get to be in the pictures.
Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed that this story that we're talking about, this hypothetical?
That's out of the boy's mouth. That's what he's talking about. That's one thing that came up. And what all I'm saying to you is that happens sometimes.
I mean, and again, I understand that, but as a point, when do you as an adult move on?
That's what it sounds like. That's what he's trying to do. But
because you going out your way to go on social media and expose a conversation with your father. Again, this ain't no. When I seen it, the first thing I thought of was this ain't, for starters. Damn, that's kind of messed up. But what made you say?
I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
I'm gonna take this to social media. I'm gonna take this to this personal family business. This family business. You remember your mama used to say, don't you be going out here telling Miss Jackie all my stuff that we got going on, and don't you be out here. You remember your mama used to say, you keep this business in this house.
But that's the relationship that you have with them. If you don't have that relationship, then it is different. It's
no. I'm just saying in general common sense. Your mama used to tell you.
But that's my point. If you haven't had that relationship, if that's not what it is, then guess what? They don't know how to behave that way.
That we're talking about a generation of kids who think that going by social media and going snitching on social media and putting our family business out there is what it is, especially a grown 33-year-old man.
Deanna, Kirk didn't say that. The little boy, his son said that. Kirk didn't say it.
Now go watch what Kirk's kids are saying about this whole story. Now that's the point.
Wait a minute. This is one of Kirk's kids too. So what kids you talking about? His other kids with the other wife. Okay, what they say?
They saying that he's telling that he ain't telling the whole story and he lying. That this carry-on character is not telling the whole story.
So where the truth lie? Who tells the whole truth?
Somebody ain't telling the truth, and I don't.
Who tells the whole truth? It's two sides to every story, and then there is the truth. Now it's two sides, and then there's the truth. So ain't neither one of them gonna tell the whole thing.
I'm listening to what the kids are saying. The kids saying, "Come on, big," because they're calling him Big Bro.
You know what?
Bro, you know you're not telling the truth.
You know what? And they got to live in the house with their daddy and all of that. I don't know. Well, let me take that back because I don't know where Carry On was, but I do understand that's the first child that was born. And what's the name of this album that Kurt kind of touch on this?
And the same. And I can't respect none of that the boy that did. This grown ass man that did, because at the same time you supposed to keep family business. This family business. You don't be putting if you making a calculated decision that I'm gonna put this man on blast and try to end his career in the hopes that people will the gospel.
I don't think he's trying to end his career. I mean, I don't think that it was he trying to end his career. He
Why
just
put it
said,
on the social media? Why put it on social media?
I don't think he's trying to end the career. He's putting him on blast. You know,
why do that then? What's the point? What was the point of putting him on blast?
So somebody tell him that he needs to sit down and get it right with his son.
I'm quite sure a million people have said that. And he's probably in a session trying to get right with his son, and his son still being a disrespectful little prick talking about I dare you. I dare you. Imagine calling Karen saying, I dare you to anything that you said. How are you going to react?
Carly and Cameron ain't going to say that because I have a different relationship with them. And it's like you had your relationship with your parents clearly is a whole lot better than this. And there's some things that even though you had, every child has some issues with their parent. Even if you're in a 2-parent home and your parents do everything, there are some issues there. But when a child goes through something that I don't think you have experienced, they grow up, they turn into adults with issues. Shit, I was an adult with some issues. It took a long time for me to sit down and say, yeah, the reason why this happened is because, yes, I was raised a certain way. There are some factors that happen. You hear me say this about Carly and Tamron. There are certain things that I do and try to put them in certain situations so they don't grow up and have some of the same issues I had as an adult. And yes, it took me to sit down and say, okay, okay, Tamara, we're going to sit down and look in the mirror and we're going to fix this, this, and this. And this is what we're going to do.
So why didn't Carry On Franklin do any of that? Instead, he wants to put his daddy on blast.
He might not know how to do that. It ain't no time. It ain't like, okay, well, when you turn 25, you gonna get over everything that happened in your life. It don't happen like that. He might be 55 the way this is sounding. We can't click on the link though, Deanna.
Yeah, we can't
click on the link for real.
Kirk apologized.
And I can't copy and paste it either.
Kirk has apologized. Kirk has apologized. And like I said, I understand why he did it. I understand why Kirk apologized. And I respect the fact that he did come out and apologize. And he felt like he needed to, and that was appropriate. But at the same time,
I disagree with you there. I don't think he needed to apologize.
Come on,
no, I don't.
I agree with the man. I
don't think he needed to apologize. I don't think he needed to apologize for a conversation that he was having with his son. What I think he needs to do is put some effort into actually hearing what he's saying and deal with whatever is there inside of him that upsets him.
33-year-old man, though. I'm tired of hearing. I'm tired of hearing about everything that I did wrong from a 33-year-old man who still clearly won't get over a lot of this nonsense. That's as a father and as a grown ass man, I can understand Kurt's point of view. I'm tired of you sitting here trying to blame me for everything that I've done wrong in your life when I've given you every advantage for you to go and be successful at the end of the day. So,
giving me advantages, giving me money, giving me material things is not that doesn't heal the hurt. Okay, so you've heard me say this to you. But what have you done about it? Don't tell me that you bought me something or you gave me some money, because money cannot fix emotion. Well, it can for me. So y'all can cash at me at $ Shani Scott 18.
Who's you lying to?
But for real, money cannot fix emotion. You know, right. It's a relationship they got to build. His son is crying out, but as dad, sometimes as parents, sometimes we be wrong, and we have to swallow that pill and accept it.
That's why I have a great relationship with my kids. At least I think I do, because when I make it a point. One thing we know in the Black community is parents don't apologize for nothing.
Right, and sometimes we be wrong.
So I apologize all the time to my kids whenever I'm wrong. But at the same time, I'm not about to sit here and let you keep dousing me and attacking me and lashing on me and talking ish about me. And then you're going to sit there and go try to leak a conversation to keep my career, my name slandered out here.
But listen to what you're saying. It's all about you. I'm not going to let you keep doing this. But at what point do you really listen?
At what point when there's a listening is done? I've done enough listening. At what point you haven't enough listening?
You haven't acted on it.
Maybe
the behavior hasn't changed.
Again, we don't know the whole story.
But that's what I'm talking to you and how you responded to it. When your child come to you and say, "Hey, Dad, you hurt my feelings when you stepped on my foot." My
bad, son. Now get over it. Grow up.
Well, Dad, you keep stepping on my foot. Dad, you done stepped on my foot again.
No more. I'm not. Stop it.
I feel you stepping on my foot. That's your foot. Let me take a picture of it. This is your foot on top of my foot.
Record this conversation and put it on social media and go make you some money there. Because I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I done had enough.
But that's what I'm saying. And see how you just not okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna take the time.
That's the problem.
And I'm gonna pay attention. And I'm gonna make sure, yes, because it's relationships. It is relationships.
I'm sorry.
My grown 33.
I'm sorry, my grown 33-year-old ass man of a son.
He's 32. He ain't 33 yet. He's 32.
I'm sorry, my grown ass 30-something-year-old son, almost 40, for stepping on your foot. No, this is a grown man conversation. That's what happened. You got caught up in a grown man conversation. You won't talk reckless like a grown man to me. You're getting treated like a grown man. This is real life ish. And the fact that this man, again, That two things that continue to throw me off. Number one, he grown. Number two, the fact that he thought that I should put this on social media. I'm gonna put this on social media and record this and put my daddy on blast. That I can't respect it. I won't respect it, and I refuse to respect it because this is why we talking about you now. This is why we talking about it. See, you got the whole planet Earth talking about us, our situation. And
I mean, the way Kirk responded, they conversation ain't that he cussed him out. Okay, oh well, I'm talking about actually getting it resolved.
Because we know
that's what it sounds like is not happening. And when you want to resolve it, you really have to close your mouth and open your mind to listen to what the other person is saying, even if you don't agree with it.
Thank you, Action.
Even if you don't agree with it, it don't matter. No, that's how that's why the family be all messed up, because people feel, oh, you at a certain age, you should get over it. Apparently he hasn't gotten over it. So something has to be done.
Again, I say this again. Why do we feel like everything needs to be resolved? Why do you feel like it has to be a resolution?
It's very important because this is a father and a son.
Everything
this ain't a man.
Resolution.
This ain't a man and his wife breaking up. This not a man and his homeboy falling out. This is a father and a son. This is the family structure. So that's why it's important to me.
Once again, at one point, as a father myself, I said to myself, I wasn't gonna make the same mistakes as my dad. I made a conscious choice to not make the same mistakes as my father, and learn from the mistakes of my father. And I think that's the problem. And again, while you're absolutely right that this is something that continues to plague the Black community as far as our relationship with our parents, our fathers, we don't go to therapy. We don't know how to resolve issues. All these things are very, very real things in the Black community. At the same time, when do you as a person say to yourself, I want to
somebody about to get ma'am. Put it down.
Somebody about to get the Kurt Franklin treatment in this house this morning. Look at them eyeballs. Look, well, you got some lavish wings on today because them eyes.
I do.
Them eyes is rolling over there. We do see them eyes roll. Them lashes is rolling over there.
See, because my kids be trying me. See, I think my kids be doing the same thing. Be trying to put me on blast, on video. Because they come do stuff while I'm on here and they know I turn up. And I ain't gonna apologize.
I'm waiting for the TikTok now. I'm waiting on the TikTok now. Shani,
I take care of mine. Baby, I take care of mine. I wish you would.
I'm waiting on the TikTok now. I'm just waiting on it. Shani Scott. His video of Shani Scott cussing us out. I'm just waiting on it.
That's what she be saying. Getting cussed out by Shani Scott, because that's what you do in the kitchen with Shani Scott. Getting cussed out by Shani Scott. I turn on that camera and I get y'all too. Now,
no. Again, let me get back to my point, which is, while we do have these problems in the Black community, this is something that does plague us in the Black community as far as our parenting skills and the way we raise our children and the things that we do. At the same time, I've always said, when do you decide to become a better parent? When do you decide, if you see that all this hurt and all this pain is still lingering on from you as a child, when do you make a conscious decision to say, I'm not going to continue that? You have to make the conscious choice to say, I'm not going to continue that method and that pattern. And there are but we don't do that. Instead, we continue to place the fault on the people who hurt us instead of just moving on and becoming a bigger and better person and saying, let me carry on with my life and go do something greater with my life. And also learn from the mistakes of my father. That's one thing. Like my dad will tell you, he trips out off the fact that I hug my kids every day. He's like, that blows his mind and I was like, well, Dad, you never done that. And I will go up to my dad and hug him. Every time I see my dad, I hug him. I make it a point to hug him. He still be trying to dap me off and no, come here. Come here, man. let me love you. Let me hug on you. And because these are the things that are going to heal and break the cycle of the drama and the nonsense. Because I know what my dad grew up with dealing with. He grew up with alcohol and abuse and all this other stuff. So I knew that made him lacking as a father in some areas. I understood that and I respected that. If we are more conscious of what our parents have went through and make a conscious effort to say, I'm not going to be that, That's where the change can begin. I mean,
I think every kid does that that's in a bad situation. I mean, I said that too, but when it came down to how to do that, I did not know how to do that. So I thought what I was doing. It wasn't until I went to therapy because my parents didn't know how to teach me that.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying about him. Y'all keep going on about he 32. He this. You know what? Everybody that's 55 and under is crazy. Okay, because those parents, and some of them 60 and younger are crazy because ain't no handbook to raising kids.
Absolutely,
there's no handbook.
Right.
But when we come from a line of slavery, and you know. That's how. So each generation, I would say, you know, it appears that each generation is trying to get better.
Yeah.
But each generation has done what they thought was appropriate best. At the time. Nobody. I don't think anybody set out, even with whatever's going on between Kirk and his son. I don't think he set up and said, "Oh, I'm just gonna treat him terrible." I don't think that's the thing.
Right.
But when we don't take the time to, you know, not be like, well. I know I did the right thing. And sometimes that is the case when you know that you've done everything for your child and there's nothing else that you can do. I understand. However, I don't care how old your child is. I think if your child is crying, because it's always your child. I don't care if I'm 100 and Carlin Tamron is 70. Those are still my babies. They're still my children. And all the Christians out there, you know, you are responsible for your children. Okay, not, you know, to a certain degree. The boy needs some kind of mental stability, some help. Something is wrong. No matter how we feel about it, like, oh, he 32, he should be established, he should get over. He might not know how. Well, clearly it seems like that he doesn't know how.
Right.
He don't know how. It sounds like Kirk don't really know what to do about the situation. And I and some people might not like this, but I hope everybody ain't sitting around talking about, well, let's just pray about it.
Right. That's what I hope too.
Now we got to do something.
Absolutely right. Absolutely
we got to do something.
Absolutely.
Please understand. Right. My issue ain't with him cussing him out. That's not the issue. that's no, I'm not putting it all on Kirk, but Kirk does have a responsibility because that is his father. He's going to his father. Now, he was dead wrong for putting this on. He didn't have no business recording it. What you recording a conversation with your daddy for? You know, that
tells me that's premeditation. There's premeditation there. There's intent. And there was an intent to do something.
Yeah, why are you recording a conversation with you and your daddy? You shouldn't have done that. You and your daddy need to sit down. They definitely need a mediator that is not a family member, somebody, you know, and get a new therapist. Get a new therapist. Get Iyanla. Get her. She'll get y'all to get it all out in an hour.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Go get a real unknown therapist. Okay.
But I'm not saying don't put it on camera, but I applaud Iyanla for her work and what she does, and it does take more than an hour. It's edited down to 58 minutes. But you know, get it out, get it all out, get it out. Say everything you need to say while we going through this therapy. If it take a week, 14 days, 28 days. Let's go through it. Let's get this all out. Once it's all out, then I agree 100% with you, what you're saying. Now it's time to, you know, put the work in and do something else with your life. You done said it. He know it. He heard you. You've heard what he said, because of course parents always have a rebuttal of, this is why I did this. And I did this because at this time I thought this was best. Right. You know, let me be clear. I don't think that, you know, Kirk just said, I forget that child. You know, I don't think that, but just go on and do that. Then I'll listen to all that. He 32. He need to get over it. He can't get over it. That's why we still here, and he's 32. That's not my
problem, though. That's not my problem. You 32 and you still can't get over it. That's not my problem. That's a you problem. That's a you problem. That's a you problem. You still want to hang on to the. That's what.
It amazes me that we talk about, we got to support mental health so much, but when we start having mental health issues, it's just thrown on the other person. He didn't
do it on the other person.
He didn't get here, but I'm talking about a father and a son.
But you trying to put it on the dad too. That's what I'm saying.
I do.
Okay,
I do. Because if it was the other way around and it was me and Carly or me and Tamron, yes, I would stop and be like, okay, wait a minute, what's going on? At their little young tender ages now, some stuff has happened.
Kurt's been doing that. And you reached and most people reach a breaking point. Because in a lot of these cases, in a lot of therapy sessions, in a lot of these cases, you're talking, a lot of times we go in circles, okay? And even if I do acknowledge the problem, you still might be talking about still something else. Something else might have came out. Something else might have came up. When you start getting into that circle realm, then the frustration, I can see Kurt being frustrated. I can see the frustration on somebody's end. Like, man, we've been through this a million times. When are you going to get over it and let go? When are you going to be able to let go of this? If you can't let go of it, then stop blaming me. Go work it out on your own, or go figure out something else, or go get some other therapy or something else, because this clearly isn't working for you. Again, when it comes to these kind of problems, therapy is needed. The therapy is needed, and the hurt is, and like you said, like Andre said, the hurt is on both sides. So we can't sit there and keep going back and forth with tossing. You hurt me. Well, you hurt me. Well, you hurt me. Well, you hurt me. Well, you hurt me. That's what ends up happening.
But that's what I'm saying. When the person say you hurt me, then the person that is receiving that has to listen and understand what you can't tell me. Like people say, you tell somebody, well, you hurt my feelings. I didn't hurt your feelings. I just told you the truth. No, my truth is that you hurt my feelings.
And even if I say, I'm sorry, I apologize and I acknowledge it, does that even help you get over it and move on? No.
When somebody is sincere and they actually mean that. But we can say, well, all right, I'm sorry. And then you know what happens? What makes it a problem is because the behavior doesn't change.
Right.
And so you continue to hurt this person's feelings. If I keep telling you that that's hurting me and you keep on doing it, okay, that's the problem. Now, me personally, I'm going to cut you off. But that's me. Mm-hmm. And that hadn't always been me. Mm-hmm. Shani had to learn how to get to that. Okay, if somebody keep on, you done told them they done stepped on your foot and they done did 3 more times. Or a second. Well, now is if I said, listen, you stepped on my foot, you step on it again. But I'm 44 years old.
Okay. Not you.
I'm like, well, dang, I thought we just
I got the same email 4 times in the last 5. I don't know if you keep hearing that ding, ding.
Yeah, because I keep looking at mine like,
that's mine. They keep sending me the same damn email. All right, I got it. Okay. It's the same email 3 times and it came in. So let's continue. I'm sorry.
As parents, it's our responsibility to make wrongs right and to train up a child. Now, if the child is still acting out of pain, is it justified? Not really, but healing needs to take place immediately. And that's what, like, they need to go to the Yala Man's Touch My Life. What's the name of it? Fix My Life camp.
I don't even know if it needs all that. I know one thing.
It does. If it got to all of this, they need to go have
this situation was made worse by the son. Let's keep it 100 here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The situation was made worse by the son because all this could have stayed in-house and we could have tried to take care of this person. This was a personal family matter. But fact that you decided to go inject social media. You remember your mom used to call you. You remember when you used to get a whooping and your mama would say, and you used to get mad, you'd be like, I'm going to call 911 and I'm going to call the police on you, mama. And what your mama used to tell you, call them, I'll beat their ass too.
I ain't never said nothing like that to my mama.
Look,
never.
The same rule apply right here. Man, mom and daddy, I'm mad at you. I'm gonna post a video you cussing me out on social media. Social media can get this work too, and it can all get cussed out. Every single one, every person, this person or that person can get cussed out too. Nah.
But he probably did it that way because he knew his dad would react to that. Like that. Now that probably made Kirk react a different way because now he touching, his other people. And that's all it is a little boy is just like, I'm gonna show everybody that you ain't the father, because he and Tammy and the family be posting all them videos like they just tight, they the happy family. So that's what I'm saying. That dude is probably feeling some type of way. I'll go through Woman to Woman Ministries International and let the healing begin process. Woman to Woman Ministries is a new broadcast that we have on the channel, so y'all can check them out every Sunday. And I'll get back with you on the time.
But that's the new ministry. But that is the other problem that you also brought up on. I know I'm gonna make some church folks mad, but that whole just pray about it nonsense. That never works. That whole let's just pray about it so you can avoid talking about it. that doesn't work.
You have to what the Bible say, faith without actions is dead. Faith without works is dead. So you have to do something. Okay, y'all done pray. Now you got to do something.
You got to still talk about it. The issue is still there. Don't just sit there and say pray about it and leave it in God's hands. All this other. That's one thing I do see with my people that is a problem with black people in America, and why we can't get nothing solved is because we just leave it in God's hands. Yeah, some things you got to leave in the Lord's hands, but most of the time, the Lord is telling you still got to act upon it and go do something about it and approach it like an adult. But action is what, like I said, action is like me and just about everybody else in Black America. He's a grown ass man. We're not trying. Y'all keep trying to paint this kid, this person as a kid, as a 10-year-old, as a child.
And like I said, and I'm gonna say it again. When it comes to work, he might be 32. His physical age, he's 32. But when it comes to their relationship with his father, he is still the child wherever his daddy left off. That he has not grown past that, and we keep sweeping that under the rug. But then we want to holler, "Oh, mental health."
You ain't heard me mention mental health not one time in this episode.
The problem, not in this episode, but it'll be some other stuff. Well, mental health is serious. Yeah, you know what? It's real serious because, again, this man that's 32 years old has not grown past whatever little boy, wherever the issue happened between him and his daddy. That's the problem. If he was a 32-year-old son, then no, we wouldn't be talking about none of this.
Nah, I'm talking about it because he's 32 years old. And it's at some point, when do you, as a 32-year-old person, stop clinging on to hurt and pain? Like that's like I understand it's
hard. Don't know how to let go of it. I mean, but you can just get over it. If you don't know how to get over it,
I'm not trying to be as harsh with those terms.
But that's what people are basically saying about this man, since y'all want to refer to him as a man.
Thank you.
Just get over it. Okay. If he don't know how to get over it, if I say, okay, meet me at my house, but I don't give you the address or nothing. How you gonna get here? You just gonna figure it out? No, he doesn't know. That's the point. Yeah, I blame Kirk because he the daddy. Yes, I do. He is the father. Get your son and go get this, get this together. Yeah.
And walk away. Some things don't need resolution.
Well, that's a sorry parent if they just walk away from their child.
No,
in a situation like this.
I'm not saying Kirk should walk away. I'm saying as the child walk away.
He don't want. That's ridiculous too. Now you busting up the family. No, get your family. That is his father. No, I don't think with your family, your immediate family, mother, father, that ain't something that you just say, oh well, forget it. No, that should be if it's a way for that to be fixed.
I'm tired of these people stressing me out. I'm leaving. I'm walking.
They talking to each other. They are at least in communication, so they can get to a point to where now it might not be all peaches and cream. I ain't the princess. Shoot, even with my situation with me and my daddy, I don't feel like the princess I should be to my dad. But we got it worked out.
Mm-hmm.
We talk to each other just about every day. We tell each other we love that. That ain't nothing that we did that I had growing up. That just started. I'm 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So you can work it out.
That was an honest appeal to work things out.
Yes, but you know what? You know who led that? But you know who led that?
Who that?
Who led that and took on the, okay, I'm sorry, this is my fault. My dad did that first. And then once he did that, it was up to me to say, okay, Shani, this is
I put this, but again,
you got to do.
I get that from your perspective, but I get why but this shouldn't be put on Kirk Franklin, who said we don't know if Kirk Franklin has done this. We don't know if Kirk has been doing all of this and been putting in the work to try to be a better father towards this kid. And what we probably saw over the weekend was a father frustrated, angry, and upset because I've tried everything I could with this kid and he still ain't taking it. He's still doing dumb shit like recording my calls and put it on social media.
I don't have no problem with him cussing the son out. That ain't, I like that. You ain't never heard me say. You ain't never heard me say that he was wrong for saying what he said.
Again, everybody's trying to put
you would never hear me say that. You would never hear me say that. because I would have put a little bit more sauce on it myself. I would just keep it 100, baby. I probably would have laid hands on him when he said try it or do it or whatever he said. I dare you. Look.
Now you trying to antagonize me. Now you ain't trying to. So again, when you decide that you want to antagonize me, I don't give a rat's aspirations about your feelings, about your hurt and your pain. All I'm gonna know is I'm gonna clap. You finna get this clap back work. And again, the son, everybody's wrong in this situation. Everybody's wrong in this situation. If you ask me, everybody is absolutely wrong. But again, stop.
and yes, and trust me, and understand this, audience. The son was dead wrong for recording it and then posting it. Number one, the conversation shouldn't have even been recorded. That's number one.
That's number one.
Posting it. But what I'm talking about is the two of them fixing the relationship. And it's clear that, to me, looking at it, it's clear to me that they both want the relationship fixed, or else all of this wouldn't be in it.
Absolutely.
So just drop the pride, the ego. Between the two of y'all ain't got to do it on social media. We don't need to see it. And just, let the healing begin.
I agree.
They want to, but yeah, I ain't got no problem with Kirk Franklin cussing him out. I think he should have knocked his teeth out. And the son was definitely wrong for posting it. So you ain't going to tell me, I dare you. Listen, we'll be having a funeral. And I'd be on my way to jail.
Look, when he wasn't interested in healing and all this other stuff and his mental health, when he come bust back with that, I dare you. Oh! Oh! Healing?
I dare you.
Healing? Healing? No, not my health. My mental health then kicked in. No, I won't. Now I'm look. I'm trying to hear that. Look, so I mean, it's an unfortunate situation. Like I said, we don't know all sides of the story. We all just speculating here this morning. But the main thing is, listen, if you got a problem with somebody, go talk to them about it and figure out how y'all can solve it. And if you can't come to a resolution, it doesn't need a resolution. Move on and start living your best life.
No, they might. If you have issues with your mother or your father or your children,
talk it out. But
try to work on that.
Try to work on it. But if it can't be resolved, if you see that it's not going to be resolved, if you see this person is not open to listening, if you see this person is not open, then let them have their mental block and you move on. Because that was my thought process going into the conversation with my father. If he's not open to anything that I'm about to give him, then I already know what I need to do from at this point on, and that's move on. Because I have a wife and my own kids and my own family I have to look after, and I am determined to not raise minds in the same fashion that I came up with and deal with the pain and the hurt that I dealt with. That's why I'm a much happier and spirited person that I am now, is because I let go of that hurt and that pain. I let go of a lot of the stuff that hurt me, but I was able to express it and see a difference. And even if that person changed or not, I didn't care. All I know is I'm going to remain changed. I'm going to be a changed person and continue to move forward and do what's best for me and mine and love on me and mine. But if you can't give it the program, then I'm sorry. I don't need resolution from you. I don't need closure. I don't need any of that stuff. I'm just going to continue to live my best life. but like Ashley said, my child ever says I dare you, trust me, the sound you are not gonna make out is before that. Look, look, not even gonna make it out before I shut that down. Look, you thought Kirk Franklin was cussing in the name of the Lord. You ain't heard nothing yet. Let a child tell you I dare you.
Baby.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell y'all talking all this back and forth.
And you know these kids out here making these TikToks about this stimulus check. We gotta say this before talking about one child is saying they gonna sue their parents if they don't get them the $1,400. I'm gonna use this money to get an attorney. Baby, this ain't your money. Cause I had to have that come out. Oh, we supposed to get no, you ain't supposed to get nothing. Talking about, well, when you file your taxes, they said that the kids get $3,200. I said, no, ma'am, I'm the one that worked, not you.
All these kids got the game. After when
Not
they won't be woke and paying attention now with some stimulus money.
Yeah, talking about now they said that money is for okay. Well, then when it show up, let's see where it go.
Let me see if the check come in your name. Let me see if the check come in the mail with your name on it, you can have it, but I bet you it won't be.
Yeah, you got kids every time, but they gonna sue their parents for $1,400.
Don't
you gonna owe the lawyer. You gonna owe the lawyer more money. $1,400. Maybe listen, $1,400 for you gonna be gone in about 10 minutes.
My son, my oldest one made one too. He made a TikTok talking about mom, where my stimmy at, and he playing his video. He playing the video. The character switched to him playing his mom, and she just holding the money, counting it. Talking about what stimulus? Damn right. That's exactly how that story went. That's true. That's a true life account of what happened. That was a true life account of what happened. Mom, Dad, I heard y'all getting that stimulus. No, we getting the stimulus. I don't know about you. I know we getting stimulated. I don't know about you. Oh, that's right. You in college. You ain't got look. And plus, I just had to send you $100 and something the other week for the. Oh no, my account needs stimulation because you've been stimulating my account with expenses for the last couple of years. For
18 years. Yeah, 20 some years. But I did see something where they said college students were getting something. Is this true?
I don't know.
I don't know. We have to ask Action tonight.
I don't know. Y'all talk to Action Jackson about it. I don't know because I got one in college. If he could get some money, that'd be great. But all I know is when for this particular stimmy round, he ain't getting jack. No, so he will get something. We agree. We'll give him a little.
I mean, chance. Well, yeah, they gonna get something because like now I got to pay for USA Junior Olympics. We got to do that trip. Ooh. I got to pay $600 for some anesthesia so some teeth can be pulled with these braces. I'm like, Dad, what you talking about? Stimulus. Dude, they sending this money right on time so I can pay all these fees.
We are going 7 minutes over this morning, but we giving you extra morning show this morning.
Extra love.
Morning show this morning. Morning show. Because I already knew y'all was gonna be out the gate ready to talk, but we knew y'all was gonna be out the gate ready to talk about this Kirk Franklin. Y'all been itching to dying to talk about that.
Man, I got pastors calling me talking about Kirk Franklin.
You got what?
Pastors calling talking about Kirk Franklin.
What is the consensus from the pastors out there? Because the consensus I see from all the pastors is, I agree. I'm with Kirk Franklin.
Yeah, they are. They support him 100%. But you know, and it's another conversation for another day. But pastors are that way. They feel like they can't be wrong. So and they do some jacked up stuff, some very jacked up stuff. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them do some very jacked up stuff, and they always put it back on the Lord, like the conversation today. Oh, the Lord showed me this. Okay, well, understand not the conversation today. It was a conversation. Today is Monday, so a conversation that was had yesterday. Well, the Lord showed me this. Okay, well, honey, I run a business, not a nonprofit. And the Lord showed me how to open this business. And with this business means that some fees have to be paid to cover expenses.
Right. The Lord also said that these expenses need to be covered, Pimp. Now, I'm need you to pay that all full.
Yeah.
Pay all full, all time. Thank you.
Yeah, the pastor's quick to say, "Oh, the Lord show me." And I prayed, but that's your $700, your new 2021 7 Series BMW out there? Oh,
Papi, no.
you got the 8. Oh, but you don't have no budget for this. Oh, okay.
Children
Okay.
stay in your place, and parents do not provoke your children.
Amen.
I live that verse. The do not provoke your children part. But damn it, you a grown ass man.
No, papi, no.
No.
You provoking me, I'm gonna provoke you right back.
I mean, yeah, I'm not. I think that they should just, like I said, I understand Kurt. I don't, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but the little boy shouldn't have put the stuff out there. He shouldn't have done that. But they do. I do hope that they can heal and be a family.
That's all we can.
It might not be perfect. It might, it ain't gonna be. You can't go back to being 10,
but
and your dad to take you to Six Flags. That ain't gonna happen. So you got to pick up where you are. But I hope y'all can get everything out and move forward.
And I hope that as well. And again, like I said, this is a lightweight situation compared to what a lot of folks are dealing with. Like, this is a lightweight. Like,
yeah, they can get through this.
This is a lightweight story and situation, but it's also a good conversation to have about how we deal with things in the Black community as far as our families and things like that. I think this is a conversation that we need to have. It's an important conversation we need to have. And it's something we need to discuss more. Maybe we need to get therapists on here.
I think we need to get First Lady Jackie on here with her own show as a First Lady. Oh, I think Melz is frozen now because he stopped. No, you. Oh, there you go. You moving. Well, no, you was like this.
Oh, because that little bar is popping up. I think we over our time. That's why you remember I was telling you about that little the little signal bar is popping up there?
No, that's your Wi-Fi bar.
Oh, whatever it is.
Yeah, it don't make a stop. But I think everybody in want the First Lady to get on here and do her little talk show.
Well, it's time for us to get off this talk show because we've been going at it strong for an hour and 10 minutes now.
She gonna get me.
But this is a good conversation, though. Like I said, I think this is a good conversation we should continue tomorrow and continue to discuss. How do we start healing things in the Black community? How do we start getting over these things and stop clinging on to pain? Like I said this before. You remember I was saying about how on New Year's Black folks still like to eat black eyed peas and all the other stuff. Why are we still hanging on to slave traditions? We're still hanging on to slave stuff. And part of that is the hurt and the pain that we're still dealing with and how to interact with our families despite all the information and resources that we have out there to fix these things quicker and faster and get it on a better ground. We still hanging on to old stuff. And we need to start letting go of some of these things and start reimagining ourselves in this culture. So I don't know. But all I know is you can still get cussed out in the name of the Lord over here. All I know is you can still get this work messing with me and Shani Scott. Now, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. You can look. Kirk already said you can keep the choppers on deck. We're gonna keep these yappers on deck. You can mess with us. All right. We will see you guys back here tomorrow morning. Shani Scott, Melz on the M.I.C, the biggest morning show on the planet. You'll be back tonight though with Big Big's break room.
Yeah, and I won't. But they'll be on. I won't. Because I have a meeting. I got a meeting, and so they gonna have to run their show tonight.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, and y'all go stream all the Kirk Franklin songs today. All of them.
Even Stomp, especially Stomp.
Yeah, make it a Kirk Franklin day. Let's listen to every Kirk Franklin song.
I'm gonna kick off the show with that this afternoon at 2 p.m. I'm gonna probably kick off with some Kirk Franklin.
Yes.
I'm gonna probably watch Kirk Franklin at 2 p.m. this afternoon to kick off the show. It's the King of Some Media coming up at 2 p.m. on the All Do 107.3 Kiss FM. Another shot at winning Choctaw Casino trips.
Oh, for real? Y'all still doing that? Oh, yeah.
The biggest contest in East Texas. Let's get it.
Okay.
All right. We will see you guys back here tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.-ish. The King and Queen of Some Media on the Media Room 360 properties. Holla at y'all.
Oh, shoot. I put the wrong.